Good afternoon, Ma'am Norley. Now you're going to witness my reflection on your subject, Science Today. Since during this course, I have learned about a lot about atoms, chemical bonds, carbon and organic compounds, and more. My understanding of the atoms as they are extremely small and cannot be seen by the naked eye. So let's examine what I've learned about them. Well, it is the theory of English chemist John Dalton that atoms can neither be created nor destroyed. He also said that atoms are not that invisible as they are composed of even smaller particles, like literally small. Mm, the plum pudding model is made by Joseph John Thomson, or also known as J.J. Thomson. Tom J.J. Thomson. Thomson proposed that the atoms is composed possibly charged sphere with electrons evenly disappear in it. Using the solar system, Rutherford or Ernest Rutherford demonstrated that the atoms with an electrons in the Rutherford model. So, in this lesson, Ernest Rutherford uses the solar system in order to demonstrate the atoms, the nucleus around the atoms, which like this is the sun. The sun is represent the nucleus of an atom, and the other planets like Earth, Venus, Jupiter, and other more that circling around the sun is the example of the electrons. So he uses Ernest Rutherford uses this kind of method in order to demonstrate the kind of atom. So yeah, and then Niels Bohr, an atom in a Niels Bohr world is represented by the central nucleus containing protons and neutrons, with the electron placed in circular orbits with species and distant from it. Um, this orbit from the electron shells or energy. This lesson Bohr uses the word shell to to create so ang ibig sabihin ni Bohr dito is ginamit niya yung word shell para ma-create yung orbit. Yun yung tawag doon. So with the electrons placed in the circular orbit or specific distance from it. So sabi niya the more distance the electron from it, the more power it have. I don't know what is. Oh yeah. These orbits from electron shells are energy levels, which are way visualizing the number of electrons in a various shell. So let's talk about quantum mechanical model. There are quantum numbers in this model. First, the principle, or symbolized as n, signifies the distance of the electron from the nucleus. So your principle is the one who signifies yung electron, distance of electron from the nucleus. So like, magkahiwalay. Second is the angular momentum, or symbolized as I. Values from 0, 1, 2, and 3 corresponds to SPDF types of orbital. Third, magnetic, or symbolized as ML. Describe the possible orientation of an orbital in space. Last is spin, indicates the direction of spin. So yung spin is indicating the direction of spin. Now let's talk about chemical bonding. As defined in the lesson 2, it is a bond that forms between atoms, molecules, and ions that create a chemical compound. The chemical bonds between atoms are what hold the compound together. Gilbert Newton Lewis is an American chemist who invented the LED, or that represent the valence electron as dot around the chemical symbol of an element. So it's like dito yung H. So this is the box, yung H, tapos dito yung dots kung gaano kadaming vessels yung around yung H is hydrogen, tapos may dot siya dito sa gitna. And yun yung example nun. So hindi mo siya mapakita ngayon kasi wala pa, pauwi ko lang. The electrons configuration is description where electrons are located around the nucleus of an atom. Ion and covalent, the two bonds. The difference between ionic and covalent is that an ionic bond is formed by the complete transfer of some electrons from one atom to another, while a covalent bond consists of a mutual sharing of one and more pairs of electrons between two atoms. These electrons are simultaneously attracted by the two atomic nuclei. nuclei, as in Nuclei. Having talked about carbon, let's talk about let's now talk about, wait a minute. Carbon. What is carbon? Carbon is an example of an element. So, wala siya dito sa aking script. That's okay. Carbon is an example of an element. Katabi siya ng boron ata. Yan. So, it's an example of an element. Okay. So, having talked about carbon, let's move on to organic compounds. What is organic compounds? Well, organic compounds, the basis of living matter is an organic compound which contain carbons. So, yung organic compounds then is example of a sugar, is a sugar cane. Yun yung example niya. Dapat nag-living things siya. Parang living things in order to create an organic compounds. So, yung carbon naman is the only element that can bond with other element to form an organic compounds. That's my reflection to your subject kasi ang dami-dami kong natutunan talaga.